Hi students, welcome back to what will be the final lecture for the year. What we will talk about today is the examination scope and in general preparing for your final examination. I think one of the things to bear in mind is that your course counts 18 credits towards the year. Therefore comes the question of how much time must I spend preparing for this exam. Well, it's generally 1 hour per credit, so you're looking at an amount of about 18 hours you should be spending on the exam preparation. It sounds like a lot, but it's not actually a lot, and I would like to see as many students as possible get a distinction, 75% or over, which would be great for the year. And I think all of the students have done extremely well under the circumstances that we found ourselves this year with COVID-19. And we are now on the very last section, the very last assessment, and it would make me very happy to see everybody passing. Let's go and take a look at where the scope is on Blackboard. So we go to Content, and please have a look under MS Excel Practical Tasks. Right at the bottom is the final exam scope. It is there in Word format and it is there in PDF format for you. And we are going to go through the scope briefly today. I would like to just point out one or two things in the scope that were more challenging to us, and hopefully you will be ready for the examination after going through your scope and doing your revision. The first one we're going to look at, before I cover that, I would like to explain a bit more on Blackboard where the material is. So by this stage you should be familiar with all of the work and have been through all of the activities. The activities are still available on Blackboard. So if I go to Content, we have until tomorrow to submit any outstanding work. And then please be aware of, under Content, all BCA1 course videos for VPN users. You can come to Blackboard and you can watch these videos. Again, they're all labeled. So we have our Semester 1 videos that are all uploaded to Blackboard for you guys. We're going from the theory, from Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, 5, 6, 7, database theory, and then Access that we did in the first semester, and we have our second semester VPN videos which deal with right from basic formatting in Excel, relative absolute referencing, all of the activities we have covered, goal seek, which was what we did last week, and then there will be the final video that I'm recording now placed at the bottom in preparation for the examination. So please be aware where your videos are and come and have a look at them under Content in your videos for VPN users, and have a look at the exam scope and take a listen to today's video. Renaming and or saving the test file. What I can mention on that is, please be aware if there's a capital letter in it, use the capital letter. The instructions are at the beginning of the exam, and you would want to be accurate and you would want to save the name of the exam exactly as we have specified. It also helps your lecturer to find your work. Please do not use first names in the exam. You use your last name and your student number as specified. Inserting headers and footers. There was no problem with this during the course. I have a sample file here, which is actually a assignment from last year that I'm using. And if you have a look at the bottom of your screen, we have two views. And if you hover your mouse over it, we have our normal view and we have our page layout view. In our page layout view, you should be able to see your headers and your footers. And we have our header and footer tools where you can insert the current time, the current date, the number of pages, the page number, and you can go to insert header. It's not showing, so you would go to insert header and it will automatically change the view, and you can type in there what you would need to know. For example, your student number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then you would click there. Please be aware and remember that in normal view you cannot see your header and your footer. Named range. Not all students got this correct, so I'm going to show you quickly naming a range. If I highlight a range that I wish to work with, you will be able to see in the corner. Let me make this a little bit bigger. I would highlight my range I wish to work with, and in the corner here you have your name box. And if we have a look at this spreadsheet, it's called Physio. I can choose a range and I can name it, put in the box, the name box, the word Physio, and I just press enter. And I am A1 to F26. And you can click around here, but the second you highlight A1 to F26, it's telling me that named range is called Physio. So we will be asking you to create a named range. And please remember, it's just simply a case of highlighting that range. You can then use that named range in if statements and Vlookup. Conditional formatting. On conditional formatting, what I would like to say is it is on the Home tab. Should be on the Home tab. It has seemed to have disappeared here. Where is my conditional formatting? I am not in Excel. I'm having a bad morning. And you would go to your Home tab and you would go to your conditional formatting, and we have the one that we use specifically for the examination, which is the highlight cells rules. And you have greater than, less than, between, equal to. You can highlight a cell that contains a specific text, and here is an example of your conditional formatting. Please be aware, as I've just made that small mistake just now, there is no conditional formatting in Word, it is in Excel. Setting to currency, accounting, decimal places, all of the formats we would like you to set the cells to. If you go to your Excel spreadsheet and you highlight a range of numbers, it's simply a case of right click, format cells, and you have your selection of menus there. General, number, currency, accounting, date, time, percent, fraction, so on and so forth. We generally use a lot of percentage and we use a lot of currency with the relevant decimal places. Absolute versus relative referencing. I think everybody in this course has managed to get the absolute referencing correct, so I'm not going to talk further about that. The COUNTIF function, everybody got that right during the course. Just practice it again. Sorting data was problematic during the course, so I'm going to do a data sort with you guys quickly. And what you would do, let me make my screen a bit smaller so that I can select all of my data, and I am going to highlight my whole selection. I'm going to choose data, and I'm going to, instead of choosing A to Z or Z to A, now students, this was a very common mistake that came up during the examination and the assignment. This is the lowest to highest, or A to Z, is ascending. The second one is descending. And then we have what we call custom sort. And when I click on the custom sort button, I get a dialog, and I would like to sort by, it's picked up all the heading, the surname of client, on values, and in this case I would like descending, which would be Z to A, upside down. Now I would like you to have a look on the left here under surname of client what happens. And if we have a look, here we go. It has sorted it through to B. We don't have an A, so the B is at the bottom. So I'm referring to ascending, descending, and custom sort. Custom sort is quite nice because it just asks you what you would like to sort on. First name, name of client. You can sort it on account number, treatment type. It does pick up all the headings if you highlight the entire range. Please practice your sorting. It was problematic during the year and some marks were lost for that. Subtotals I have covered, but I'm going to add subtotals in here again just for the record. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight my range. I'm going to go to the data tab, and on your data tab you have a subtotal button. The majority of students got this correct during the year, but I'm going to click on subtotal and you receive a dialog. Now you need to look at this very carefully in order what you want to do and be aware of what you want to do before you do it. And what I would like to do is count all of my types of therapy. Now, the problem with this is that I cannot count the types of therapy unless I have sorted them first. So subtotals go together with a sort. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a data sort on treatment type, values, A to Z, ascending. And there we go. I've got acupuncture therapy, aquatherapy, chiropractic therapy, all sorted nicely for me. Now I can add the subtotals. And I would like at each change in treatment type for it to count how many people had acupuncture therapy, how many people had aquatherapy, and so on. So I'm going to click on the subtotal tab, and I'm going to choose here at each change in treatment type, I would like to I would like to count the treatment type. You can leave the second section alone. I tell it OK. Auto size, and there we have it. Acupuncture therapy count, there's 5 people. Aquatherapy count, there is 9 people. And that, students, is the subtotal feature. So be very aware that you need to sort it first before you can use the subtotal feature. Vlookups, we had very few problems with Vlookups. I was very proud of the students. They got that correct, and as well as H lookups, there were no problem. Please remember, a VLOOKUP and a H lookup is not going to work unless you use either a named range or you use the F4 function. If statements, I will briefly talk on that. There were not many issues that I recall on if statements, but if you go here to your home tab in Excel, we go to formulas, insert function or if statement, and you can specify if your logical test something is greater than 425, then what must it say if it's true, or what must it say if it's false? I'm not going to go further than that on these, as there weren't any problems. Pivot table was very simple. It was the last topic we did last week. Moving sheets. Students, there were a few problems with moving sheets. I'll show you quickly. It's very easy to miss this during an exam or a question. If I want to move cover page to be third, I will simply click on it. Let me make this a bit bigger. Doesn't help. You would click on your cover page and you would hold your mouse and you will see there's an arrow there, and I can move it to be 1 to third. Linking. Linking was in the assignment. I am not 100% sure it was covered in a video. I think it was. However, let me show you linking again. And linking is simply one cell equals another cell. So I'm going to go to my spreadsheet, and we have a summary here. So acupuncture therapy, I'm going to delete that. Remember on our overview, how many acupuncture therapy did we have? Well, we had 5. There it is. I want to link a cell on my summary sheet to that number 5. And I simply type here equals, I go to my relevant worksheet and I click on that and I press enter. And it's picked it up from the other worksheet. So what I'm saying to you is simply one cell equals another cell on another sheet. I'll do aquatherapy equals, go to my overview, find my aquatherapy count and press enter, and you will see there it is equaling another cell on another sheet. That is called linking. Absolute referencing and F4. Those of you that struggled with a laptop which has a function key and the F4 was not working, it was quite a common problem. You can either please experiment with your laptop and look at how that function key works. It switches F4 on and off, or F4 can do something else. If you are struggling there with your laptop during the exam, you can actually just type there $D $4 as an example. You can type it in manually and that will work just as well as pressing the F4 key. Inserting a chart and a graph, we had a nice video on that. Please practice, and I would like you to practice with the different types of charts. There is not everything we show you in the course. Some of the work is student research, and your charts and graphs, pie charts, graphs, 3D charts, so on and so forth, double clicking on the different portions of the chart. Let's have a look if we have a chart in this thing. There should be a chart here somewhere. Chart 1, there we go. And students, what I would like to say about a chart, okay, I see there's no data in this chart because I've gone and deleted some data out of the spreadsheet. However, that shouldn't affect this. The second you click on your chart, I would like you to have a look here up at the top. When I click on the chart, I get my chart tools. And there are different designs I can use. If you wish to change the chart type, I can change this to a pie chart, and I can change it to a 3D pie chart. That didn't work because I have no data. Let's change it back to a column chart, and I'm going to choose a stacked column, and it's not showing me all of the information there because I would need to insert a new chart. However, I would like this to be challenging to the students, so please go back to the chart exercise and do that. I am not going to explain absolutely everything in today's lesson because this is scope for the examination, and the students should be aware of how to do these things from the videos I have made for you for the whole year. There are 28 videos. Let's go and take a look at inserting a picture or an image or a logo. There were no problems with that during the year. All the activities came through great. Concatenate formula will show up in your examination. There were no problems with that. Remember, if you insert concatenate with a student name and a student surname, for example, let me just add in a column here. And I'm going to call this name and surname, or full name. Let's try that. So we have our student name. Let's put one in here. Eddie Pretorius, one of your lecturers. And we would like to use the concatenate formula to do the full name. So I'm going to go here to formulas, insert function. You can search for your concatenate if it's not showing. I've used it recently, therefore it's showing. Concatenate what? Concatenate first name. I need a space between the two, and I would concatenate that with the last name. Please be aware there's always an extra blank one here. Don't let that confuse you. So concatenate C, join C4, then join a space, and then join D4. And there we go. There is the name that says Eddie Pretorius. If we go and have a look at the scope again, what if analysis goal seek was done last week. Then we have our Access Excel section, which I will do a separate video of for you just now. Students, please have a look at your Excel, and we will do a separate video on the import and the export of Access. Thank you for attending this lesson.